Hi, Kate from Whutsy here. I wanted to make a quick walkthrough video to tell you guys about how to get a domain. And what is a domain? Well, it's this website here I'm on is NameCheap.com. So NameCheap.com is the domain name. And for example, Etsy.com is Etsy's domain name. And the great thing about domain names is you can buy one and hold on to it for a while if you're not ready to use it. And for Etsy sellers, I think this is so great because what you can actually do is even before you decide you want to build your own website or build your own online store off of Etsy, you can purchase the domain name at a fairly reasonable price in most cases and have that actually point to your Etsy shop. So this is just for one example. I did a previous video not too long ago about building a Shopify store, and you can point that domain to your Shopify store once you have it built. See, but if you're not quite there yet and you're not ready, there's nothing stopping you from buying that domain with your Etsy shop name.com and then having that point to your Etsy shop. And this is great for your social media profiles, having that .com instead of, your shopname.etsy.com or some weird link. You can have it go straight to yourshop.com and that will take them to your Etsy shop. And then once you're ready, you can have that domain go to your website once you have it built or your online store once you have it built. And it will really work out great for you and look more professional, I think. If you're deciding that you want to someday grow your Etsy shop beyond Etsy, which I always recommend thinking about that as an option in the future, this is one of those steps to get you there. And to help you help set you apart really from a lot of other Etsy shops. Okay. So I'm on namecheap.com, which is my preferred place that I buy my domains and store them. So there's lots of places like Namecheap out there. GoDaddy is another example, and Bluehost, Ionos. There's lots of them out there, but I prefer Namecheap because I've used quite a few in the past, and they are really what I love about them. It's simple. It's the simplest. I do a lot of building websites for clients and web design. I've done it over the years. I don't do it so much now, but I build my own websites for Whutsy and I build my own websites for my other Etsy shops. And when I've gone through this process with other providers, even with that knowledge I have of understanding website development on a very basic level and then website design on a more advanced level, some of these hosting platforms, I get in there and I don't even know where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do. Someone with that base knowledge. And what I love about Namecheap is it's so easy for me to find the things I need for these basic things like pointing domains to certain places, hosting and other things. And I absolutely love it. So I have probably close to 50 domains in my account right now on Namecheap. And I will tell you, I am an affiliate, and that's because I use them. I love them and I recommend it. You can absolutely go with whoever you choose, but I typically find that they have the best prices out there. And beyond that, they do have a really easy to use service. The support I've used a few times and they've been responsive, but when the service is easy to use, you don't have to be reaching out to support. And that's really what I want from a website, any service that I use. It's like, okay, yes, I want responsive support, but ultimately I don't want to have to reach out to support. I want the website to work or for me to be able to find the information I need, why I'm using this program. Okay. So that's why I use Namecheap. And if you use the link in the description below the video, it will take you to this page so you can follow along with me and get that domain name for your shop. I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm going to show you how you can take that .com or whatever domain you buy and point it to your Etsy shop, because it's so easy. You can do this yourself. You don't need to even worry about it. We're going to make it super easy. So if you click through the description below, you can find this link and it'll take you to this page. Also, you can go to whutsy.com, whutsy.com/domains, and you can find any promo codes that are existing out there for Namecheap because of my association, they give me some of the promo codes that you can try and get the best discount. But I find most times when I'm shopping on Namecheap for a domain, they apply the best promo code option for me already. That it's never a problem getting the best price with them. It's not like I have to jump through hoops. They make it really easy. All right, so once we get to this page on Namecheap where we can search for a domain, this is where we want to start. We want to enter in our shop name. Really, probably most often, you want to have your Etsy shopname.com in most cases. Now, that might not be available, but we want to have options that use our shop name. Okay, so I know Whutsy.com is unavailable. That's my Etsy shop name as well. So I can search for it and see what options it gives me, because I want to give an example of if you enter your shop name and you see that the name's taken, or maybe it's a premium domain and the price is just way too expensive for you to even think about buying, you'll see that it gives you lots of other options that and prices are right there. So type in your shop name and then click search. And it comes back fairly quickly with the options. And it says right here at the top, Whutsy.com is taken, so we can't use it. And that's because I know who owns it, and that's me. And then it gives us, usually at the top, a premium suggestion. And these are going to be the more expensive sites. And you can see it changed the spelling of my word because it's not really a word. So it might give you suggestions that are similar to the words you enter, which can be helpful. And I also recommend Namecheap if you're trying to come up with a shop name. They can give you really good ideas just accidentally for your shop name if you're really struggling with that. So they will give you a premium domain, which is a high value option for your domain. And sometimes if you enter in a popular word or a simple word or a short word, you'll see these in the thousands of dollars. I don't recommend spending money on a premium domain. There's no need for it, because all I want to do is have a simple website address that people can see, recognize, and type in easily without say they see your website address visually, that it's easy for them to type into like their phone or another device without having to write anything complicated. I think that's the goal of a domain this day and age, just having it simple, short, and make sense and easy for someone to type in if they're reading it. Because the days of a domain name being like all about SEO, I think those are gone. That's really in the early internet, when if you had 100 domains and they had lots of your keywords in the domains, that would boost your site on Google and make you really relevant in those search results. That I don't think is as important these days. You certainly can, if you see several website addresses with your name, you can certainly buy them. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. But I don't think it's necessarily required this day and age. So you want to look through this list. It gives you, so since Whutsy.com is taken, and maybe yours is available, so you can add it to cart and it's a good price. I will talk about pricing here as we go. It also gives me other suggested results, with .net being another popular one, and .org, .ai, .to. There's lots of others besides .com that I could potentially purchase. Okay. And then also down below, it gives me all kinds of other whatever. So you can see I have Whutsy.shop. And that's really inexpensive, $1.78 a year. And that would be really easy for someone to type into a web browser if they saw it like on a pin or something and it didn't link to my shop, or whatever on a photo on Instagram where they can't click, but they see Whutsy.shop. That would be so easy for them to just type into their web browser, something like that, or Whutsy.co.co, also fairly inexpensive. So you can browse through these and see if there's something here that you think would be good. Okay. Also, if you don't see anything that you think is good or the .com you want is really expensive, we can do another kind of search. We can do Whutsy.shop, for example. Okay, just adding shop, and then we get some different results. So we see we have whatsyshop.com for $6.98 a year, or I can do whutsy.shop for $1.78. And you can keep going through these searches. And I like to think of Namecheap shopping cart, kind of like the Etsy shopping cart, where you kind of search for stuff and you're like, oh, I like that. So you add it to your cart, and then you check out like later and kind of weed through your cart. So I can add this to my cart. It gives me some more. It always pops down these suggestions for things. You don't need to worry about any of that. Okay. And then maybe there's another one here that I liked, like whatsyshop.com. I might add that to the cart, and then I go down here and there might be something else that I like that kind of fit my brand. Like if you have a humorous store and it's a single word, you could maybe the .lol, for example, might be a good one. It really is about a fit. And if you want to run with it, you can run with it and you can make it part of your brand. Okay. If it's just what it is and you're not really integrating it into part of your brand and it doesn't make sense, then, you shouldn't go with these short, fun word domains. At Whutsy.shop makes sense because it's pointing to my Etsy shop for Whutsy. It makes sense. It kind of it's not going to be confusing to the person. Okay, so you want to think about that too when you're picking a domain. So I've added a couple to the cart. I want to make some decisions. So I'm just going to go ahead and click checkout. And here on the checkout, you can see it already includes all the discounts. If you have an additional promo code, you can try it and see if you can get a better discount. So what you need to know right here is you can look and see, okay, so this is $1.78 for 1 year. I mean, why wouldn't you just buy it to have it, even if you're not going to use it right now? And even this one, that's $7 a year. That's a really good price, really good value. But I think I'm just going to go with the one today and get the Whutsy.shop. I think that'll be perfect. I'll be able to put that in my Instagram profiles. It's really simple. I can put that in my content on my videos as a watermark. It's really simple. If people want to type it in, they can just do it. You would be surprised how much traffic you can get from people just typing in your domain if you make it easy and simple for people to do. So we're going to break this down now. This is for 1 year. Now I can choose if I want to just pay for multiple years, and you'll see that price goes up quite a bit. Okay, so I always just do 1 year, and typically the renewal isn't much more than that. You may see that it does go up as it renews, but they generally have a reasonable fee for the follow-up. So you can see they break down the fees for you. This 18-cent fee is just a mandatory fee for domain registration. Okay, down here we have domain privacy 1 year subscription. You want to have this enabled because they offer this for free. And what is domain privacy? Well, they tell you all about it. Privacy protection service that hides your personal info to the public, who is database, keeps your data safe, and helps avoid spam. So this is one of the big things that I love about Namecheap. A lot of these places that sell domains charge for this, and Namecheap is always free. You never have to worry about it. And it's simply because when you register a domain, that information is now in this public database that you purchased this domain name. And now there's companies, and some of them are nefarious, that scrape this database, and now they have your email address, phone number, whatever information is attached to this purchase, and you are going to get spam like crazy. Okay. And a lot of it is like phishing spam, and they will use deceptive practices to get you to sign up for things because they have your information. They know that you just signed up for a website. So they may wait a year or 6 months and say, oh, your domain needs to be renewed in this fake email. And that's how this stuff gets started. So this domain privacy and being free is just a fantastic feature that Namecheap offers. The next thing, premium DNS, you do not have to worry about that unless you decide you want to host your own website, then you will do this. And for most of us, if we use Shopify or Wix or BigCommerce or any of these other platforms, they often include that with it because they are hosting your website for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So no need to pay for that. And then all this other stuff, you don't need to pay for it because the only thing that possibly you might need to purchase down the road would be security, SSL security. And that's when you type in a website and it says secure at the top on the address bar. But this is included with most hosting platforms, like I was saying, Shopify and Squarespace and all these places. They include that in their hosting, so you don't have to pay for it. And, when you're using those other services, that's part of what you're paying for is that security, okay? And you don't need any of this stuff. You don't need to get the email. They do offer a free trial, but I still always recommend for business email, if you wanted to use this domain for a web email address, like I could do info@whutsy.shop, as like a place for my customer service emails go. You can use Google Workspace for that, and it's definitely a lot better price. Even though this offers you a free trial, that price of $388 a year is a little high. All right, so we can skip all this. You don't need any of it. You just click confirm order. And then they're going to ask you to log in or to create an account. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and come back, and I'll show you what we need to do to point this domain to our Etsy shop and go from there. Okay, so once you have made your purchase for domain and created your account on Namecheap, you're going to want to go to NameCheap.com and log into your account. So once you log into your account, you want to just go to any page and you'll see account in the top right corner and just go ahead to your dashboard. Now this will show everything that you own. Recent activity is going to be here. So we're going to go ahead to our domain list. And this is going to show all the domains you own. Okay. And I have a lot in here, but you can go ahead and click if you want. If you have multiple, you might have to search through, or you can just click on the one that you have available. So I'm going to just select one of the ones I have here. We're going to click on manage. Okay, and it takes you right to this main page for your domain, and there's lots of things that you don't even have to worry about. It does tell you, if the site is if the page is active, or the domain is active, meaning is available to use, and then it tells you when it expires or renews, and that your privacy protection is on, and then down here, this is where you can redirect your domain. And by default, it will have your source URL pointing to an http://URL. Okay, so all we need to do to point this to our Etsy shop is click the little trash can next to this, and it says ask us if we want to delete the record. Say yes. And then we're going to do is add a redirect. So we click add redirect. Source URL is the website, which will be right up here at the top. So you can just select it and copy source URL, right? And then we're going to put in our Etsy shop. So I have my Etsy shop open over here, and you'll see up at the address bar where it says etsy.com/shop-whutsy. So this stuff at the end, I can just delete all that. So it's just this. This is all that we want. Select Command C to copy, and then we paste that into our destination URL. Hit the checkbox to save changes. Okay, so now that that's all set, we've saved this. The changes are saved, and now we are ready to use our source URL, our new domain name, and that will take us to our Etsy shop. Now, you can test it out now, but it probably won't work. It'll give you an error. This does take, I don't know, anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour to update. So I recommend doing these changes. Go make a cup of coffee, come back and check and make sure that address works. So only thing you would need to do to check it is to take that domain URL, copy it, open a new browser window, paste it in the browser. And let's see, it takes us right there. And that took about 5 minutes. So fantastic. So I hope this video was helpful to get your domain set up to point to your Etsy shop. Now, if you have a website or a Shopify store or something like that, you are going to be doing this a completely different way. And when you decide that you want to point your URL to your Shopify store or website on a different hosting platform, you're going to want to delete this redirect, okay? Because then that will cause problems. But all you have to do is go into your domain list, click on your domain, and it'll be in this first section, and you just hit the trash can, delete record, yes. And then now you can go ahead and set up your shop through Shopify using their instructions, okay? They're going to show you what you need to do to have your domain name go to your Shopify store. All right. And if we need a tutorial on that, I'm happy to do it because I use NameCheap all the time. If you find it easy to use, I can show you how to do it in Shopify. If you guys are curious, let me know in the description. Or if there's any other thing. Obviously, you can point this website to any page you want on the internet, but I just think this is really great for your Etsy shops when you're first starting out and you don't have a website yet. But the next step for you is to build a website and have it to collect email addresses by offering a coupon. That's going to be your next strategy. The first thing you want to do on your website, you don't need to have anything else. You can just have that to start to get you going. And you can watch the Shopify video I made on the channel and do that. And before you even have any products, you can get that email list going. Which is what I recommend your next step. But all right, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or you had any problems. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do. Post your links below, put your .com below, and we'll follow it to your Etsy shop. I would love to see that. All right, so thanks so much for watching and have a great day.